Mali bismo makar
Panel discussion with the topic, Ask Me Anything. Please welcome to the stage Mr. Stancel, Mr. Asher Ilan, Mr. Henrik Yilke, Mr. Yanis Medorah, Mr. Godfrey Rousset, and our host of the panel discussion, Mr. David Stancel.
Hello everyone. So welcome to our last panel today, probably the highlight of the day. So we have our notable 5 guests here, and there will be Slido, which you can use for asking questions. And I will probably just kick off the whole debate, which is which can be very general and broad. So, gentlemen, let's start with probably a very basic question. So, where do you personally pursue the actual added value of blockchain as technology apart from cryptocurrencies? Who wants to start? Yanis, maybe?
Okay, I will start. So, as we saw during the day, blockchain is it's an additional element of the internet. Mainly for security as well as giving value to the data we exchange, we share, and daily operation we do with the data. So it's an additional value element, I would say, to the existing infrastructure we have. It's slightly early to see real impact for the global good. But we really saw some real examples, like the examples of Sweden, which are really good examples on that we are really progressing towards the next generation of public governance, of doing transactions on a bilateral basis.
Okay. Someone else want to answer?
I'm not a born futurist, so I'm gradually becoming more and more of a future. We hear everything about these centralized monopolies, Google, Facebook controlling data, bank controlling and having too much power. And the generic trends towards decentralization, which blockchain is a good enabler for. It's definitely going to happen, I think. Often people ask the question, so why are you using blockchain? Why can't we use a central database? I'm starting to flip that. So why would you want a less secure solution when there's a secure solution, or more secure solution? I mean, I think it can come here anywhere. Like inspection in real time of banks and the positions, the public sector to check what's going on in society. An immense amount of applications with the public and private sector.
Okay.
So I think, well, certainly in theory and in the future, there will be applications without cryptocurrencies. I think we're going to have much better luck in the near term if we work with cryptocurrencies than rather trying to work against them or ignoring them. So, for example, smart contracts, they work by controlling assets. And the main assets on blockchains now that live there in a trust minimized way are the cryptocurrencies. So you'll have much better luck if you take advantage of that.
Okay. So when it comes to blockchain in the public sector, there are probably maybe 3 main kinds of narratives. One says that you can eliminate maybe the public sector with the utilization of blockchain. One says that you may enhance the public sector, and the third one says that maybe you don't actually need to implement blockchain into public service at all. So which of these 3 narratives you are more aligned with? Please.
I can try to answer that question, or my view on that. I think that depends on the popular trust of the government or the public sector in the country that you live in. As I pointed out in my presentation, the popular trust in Norwegian and Scandinavian government institutions is very high, extremely high. So our question is more like, why would we want to change that? Why would we want to decentralize when we trust the government institutions?
Okay.
Well, I think the elimination goes with the enhancement. I'm talking about small pieces like certain financial aspects, substituting in places where the central bank works poorly, cryptocurrency, for example, for a traditional national currency. Or in the case of EU, it's already a foreign currency in the sense that you're using it locally. You don't have the scale to use your own national currency. So, in a sense, that's both enhancing things for the users of those services, but also eliminating or greatly changing the traditional role of government with respect to that thing. But in terms of this great, anarchy, these are happening little pieces at a time, so it's not like anarchists blowing up government or something.
Okay.
That two points about the role of government. One is for the 3 billion that don't have even banks, like 1 billion in Africa, 1 billion in China, 1 billion in India. I think the government has a role of infrastructure, not more than the infrastructure. Otherwise, it won't be in 1 billion in Africa that have no bank. This is the first point. The second point is that if the new democracy, the direct democracy, will be the government, the parliament will be elected by chance, by kind of proof of work. There will be real representation of the people. And if it will be a real representation of the people, our concept of government, of the problem of concentration of power, will change, because through lottery, through proof of work, through chance, the concentration of power will be distributed. So I think this is the 2 points of the future government.
Okay. Someone else?
You need to look into ways in the future about the analogy with early internet. You start by replacing the fax machine, maybe. You could also foresee in the future that you'll have video on the internet connection between people. Same here. There are futuristic ideas about governance, but shouldn't rule them out just because the futuristic might come. But then there's also a lower hanging fruit to improve now. And in the public sector, we're working with the tax authorities in Sweden, which is actually quite cool. They are indeed looking at their rules and so quoting them a little bit. So their role isn't necessarily to collect a lot of papers and look at exactly what's going on in every shop. What about if they can just check once, is this a secure blockchain solution? And then you've done the work once. A lot of friction is removed. So you need to look at what are you contributing, what's the core value as an entity in government.
Okay, so maybe let's move to the questions from the audience. The first one seems to be very popular. ICOs. Is it a hype, or will it remain to be a relevant alternative to startup financing? What do you think?
I know from my experience in Israel, I was involved in 2017 and 2018 with 10 ICOs. 90% of them was cheating, was scam. Just first of all, 90%. But 10% really have new technology, and for me, because I'm old, I'm almost 70, I was living at the time
of the first PC of Apple. I was living at the time of the .com, and I see many scams also in the 2000s. So I think that from the 100 currency coin market cap, 10% of them are real innovation, very important. So the ICO concept just have to make some adaptation, some correction, a little bit of regulation, and this will be the strongest engine of economic development innovation in the coming years, after a few corrections.
Okay.
And actually this year, by the end of June, although people consider the ICO space to have a hype and that the euphoria is past, it's in the past now. We have seen that the investments up to June were exactly the same amount up to the investment for the full 2017, which was the year of the ICOs. And ICOs is nothing else than the early days of the IPOs, but in addition, it's a way to finance small projects and give the opportunity for innovation and fostering innovation and bringing ideas into actual businesses and solutions.
I don't, change my mind from being a futurist. I was against IPOs at the start, but now I'm more and more positive. Different kinds of investors that know more about the blockchain market probably than VC investors. Just look at my company. We've been not at all successful with VC investors, but we're very successful now with an ICO. So that proves that the ICO market is more rational than the VC market. So it's interesting. But I mean, you can actually compare a little bit, VCs or big companies throwing a lot of money into an entity with the promise that they will build a blockchain for them. What's the big difference between that and ICO, with someone promises the mode, which is more rational?
Okay.
Well, so ICOs are kind of a big haystack of hype, and the question is how many viable needles are hiding in this haystack? I think that's still an open question that we're looking for those needles. So there's huge inefficiencies in the current venture capital world. I know in the United States you have to be a sophisticated investor, which you're not really, doesn't really mean sophisticated, it means you're worth I think $1 million or some large amount. And everybody else, 95% plus of the population, is excluded from investing in early stage technology. And if you look at globally, how the regulations impact globally, that's even more. It's probably like 99+%. People are excluded in investing in Silicon Valley companies, for example. So that's a huge, huge inefficiency that ICOs are starting to route around. And the regulators are trying to chase that, and as they chase that, they're reintroducing that big inefficiency. But the regulations also are there to some extent for good reason, and there's a lot of hype, a lot of fraud. And so the question is how many needles are in that haystack, and is it worth all the useless straw?
Okay, so we have another question. What do you think will be the first real working use case of blockchain? So I guess maybe apart from Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, does anyone want to answer this? Maybe
investments like shares, etc. That is
kind of tokenization of shares.
We had founder being on the Blockwalks platform and also the ICO market with Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Okay.
Well, we already know the cryptocurrencies. They've been around for a while. They're very useful for moving money across borders, for example. They're far cheaper and more reliable than going through all these intermediate banks that want to get into it.
And another thing also is more complex uses of cryptocurrency, like escrow solutions and stuff. That provides a great value.
Okay, so we have another one. What do you think about government developers joining Bitcoin Core and push more government compliant consensus? That's an interesting one. Who would like to take it? Maybe Nick?
Well, the culture, there's a very strong culture of immutability and censorship resistance in Bitcoin Core. So if your idea is to try to change that culture, if your idea of making it compliant is to change that culture, good luck to you, you have a very uphill battle because you're basically destroying the core value of Bitcoin and its global seamlessness. So you have all these local regulations that are different around the world. Bitcoin gets its value by being beyond that, by being the same everywhere. And so not only would that be against the Bitcoin core value system, and by the way, the market value of Bitcoin would be destroyed, but it would also, you know, balkanize it, to use a phrase, into, you know, just a bunch of disjoint competing governmental people trying to lobby these things. So it'd be a complete mess if you tried to do that.
Okay.
It's open source. Just fork it, call it Bitcoin God, and you have interest directly. It's open.
Okay. No one else? So what if we would make this question maybe the other way around? Recently, some of the Bitcoin Core developers wrote a letter to SEC in the United States, and they kind of called upon them to work more closely with actually Bitcoin and cryptocurrency developers. Nick, do you perceive this as maybe kind of a treason for the core values of Bitcoin, or is it like a good way to go?
Yeah, I don't know what the context of that was, but in terms of trying to distinguish, for example, Bitcoin from a token that's meant as a security and, you know, pre-mined or meant as an investment for a startup, it's a very different thing from what Bitcoin is now. And so educating them, regulators on that topic, I think, is a reasonable thing for Bitcoin core developers to do.
Someone else wants to take on this? Good. So we have a very general question. Do you invest in cryptocurrencies?
Yes, I invest in cryptocurrency, not my apartment, not my retirement, but most of the money above my retirement and my apartment are in cryptocurrencies, 50% in Bitcoin and 50% of the future technology like Lightning, like new technology of Ethereum. So I invest about 10 cryptocurrency, but 50% is in Bitcoin, yes.
Okay. What about others?
I invest in Bitcoin, but I sadly had to sell it at the wrong moment and lend to the company. Now I'm out of position.
Okay.
No.
No. Nick?
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin only. Okay. Yanis?
Yes.
Okay. It goes without saying, right? Okay, so we have one question for Nick. So how do you think will be smart contracts used to offer professional services? Like SIG contractors, etc. Can you give us some examples?
Okay, well, so the core thing that is needed for smart contract to work is verifying performance. So how you verify the performance of a psychotherapist, I don't even think people have figured that out, much less machines. So that may be one of the last things automated with smart contracts. Smart contracts, the near term, I think, is to be focused on finance and logistics to the lower hanging fruit, rather than more subjective areas.
Okay. So another one is maybe more technical one. So where do you think delegated proof of stake fails? Nick, do you want to comment on delegated proof of stake consensus algorithm?
Just in a very general way, those tend to be less trust minimized and proof of work. You can do subjectivity and there's all sorts of debates on this, but as a general matter, those are less trust minimized and they're going to be less seamlessly global and more vulnerable in some ways.
Okay, so maybe when we talk about consensus mechanisms already, when we talk also about the implementation of blockchain, maybe in the public and the private sector as well, what what kind of consensus mechanism do you perceive to be the best fit for the implementation?
Proof of work.
Okay. Others?
Depends on the case. For private blockchain, Byzantine fault, practical Byzantine fault tolerance is a good starting point. And there's always people trying to innovate of these consensus. I think it should be quite careful to jump on the bandwagon of this. Quite true. We try to make a combination between angry.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I tend to rate it. Proof of authority is like the least trust minimized because you have to have some human decision-making process usually fairly centralized for deciding who the group of authorities are and then tracking their identity and so forth. And so proof of work is the strongest. Proof of stake is somewhere between. Proof of authority is a very weak or local trust-based.
Okay, so Harry, you mentioned our private blockchains. So what about this dichotomy between public and the private blockchains? What do you think we will see being more implemented in the real use case applications?
I think for public sector applications, a lot will be private blockchains. But again, thinking about a futuristic perspective, I think that maybe public blockchains are a bit underestimating what they will be able to do. Maybe just because you can't do it now, doesn't mean that it's impossible to do in the future. We're providing a platform that we think is going to make it easy to do serious applications, decentralized applications, as a public solution. So the question is for a specific case for the public sector, do you need private information, need to control of it? Okay, if not, why not use a public solution? So I think that maybe some cases might.
Well, the government sector is normally regulated. So in a development process where you're applying technology, you would have to have, in addition to the strategic level, you would have to have the lawyers, the people that understand what is legally possible to do applying this technology. And my prediction is some of them will be quite conservative. But still, I think with the right mix of development teams where you have strategic level lawyers and people that know the legal concept, the technology prone people, and also the users, then you get a right mix in the development. And I think the government has just started to see the opportunities. And the more you educate, the more you inform, and the more understanding bureaucrats get, the more this technology will definitely be applied. Elections, for example, many countries are thinking about using this technology in elections. This is, of course, a possibility. Perhaps the integrity of electronic election can be secured through this technology.
So the answer would be private or public blockchain?
I think we will see in the private sector, we will see companies like ourselves and very many companies that want quality control, quality assurance, want transparency in the processes. To utilize the technology, and they will definitely do so because, as one of the speakers today said, there is an enormous potential, I think it was you, for economic efficiency here. So, and this will be the business case for the private sector. They will definitely implement the technology due to that.
Okay. Yes.
Going back to the fundamental idea of these technologies that the properties trust, transparency, and efficiency. And yes, we have some private applications for private blockchains, but I personally believe in the future, and grabbing some comments from Nick, that it's going to be hybrid model and communication between private and blockchain systems. I personally think that there is need and room for both at the moment, and until we have a solid global infrastructure which can serve global needs, either for accounting, or for voting, or for doing transactions, needs widely accepted, I think we are progressing with the same stable pace of having both private and blockchain.
Okay.
I think that private blockchain will succeed only if and only if it will be DAO, decentralized autonomic organization. Because then it will be efficient, otherwise it will be, again, internal bureaucracy, so we will not have any efficiency only with DAO or DAO 2.0, new DAO, but it has to be DAO in order that in private blockchain will succeed.
Nick, which of the two things you think they will prevail?
Can you repeat the original question?
So like private blockchains or public blockchains, which will be like more implemented, whether it's in the public or private sector?
Right, I think public blockchains are and will be more important. They're much more socially scalable. When you get to private blockchains, basically when you look at them, people are reintroducing centralized administration. Whereas the main value add of blockchains is to get rid of that single point of failure, that single social point of failure, that single point of political activism, and decentralize it out with particular protocols, and give up more control of machines. And I think that may be the scariest part, is giving control of machines. But it's also something you're only going to do in cases like money and finance and things that are really well defined. If you're talking about voting, that involves secure identity, which is not really, I don't think, something that the blockchains do very well. It's based on really local information and, like getting your driver's license, starts with a birth certificate. A third of the children born in the world still aren't born with a birth certificate. It's all based on this very local information that in developed countries starts at birth. And so that kind of thing I don't associate with blockchains very closely, because it's still that's something where governments and local entities in general are still strongly needed, I think.
Okay. So we have another interesting question related to GDPR. So do you think can GDPR kill blockchain industry in Europe?
No, I don't think so. Because I think GDPR is against things like Google and Facebook, because they have too much big data and they do things anti-privacy. But I think because the blockchain, Bitcoin blockchain at least, is not anonymous but pseudonymous, it should not be problem with GDPR, mainly because it's distributed database, not centralized database like in Amazon or Facebook. That's why many problems that GDPR create, it won't create if it's distributed, because it's my privacy, my data, it's not their data. That's why we have to find some points that the GDPR won't harm the blockchain, at least for Bitcoin.
I don't think it will stop blockchains either. There are solutions. The right to be forgotten, for example, can be designed, for example, with an external oracle that goes through personal information, and you just have pointers on the blockchain. Also, you can design and secure, hopefully as decentralized as you can, but that's one solution. And then there are some rules about GDPR that, of course, a plain name or identity, that's not secure enough. But so a hash has always been considered, that's also personal information, a hash. Okay, but then you can increase that level of difficulties in the original information, like we have an idea to have hash plus the nonce, for example, etc. And that's a point, and it comes to very strange to say this is personal information. There are various ways to solve GDPR already.
It depends on some factors. You must, in the blockchain, be able to specify who and what, who accesses the information and what information they access. And this has to be very clear, and this has to be the individuals that access the information, not the machines, but the individuals that have the possibility to access this information. And so, as long as that is something that you comply with, I don't see any problem.
Yeah, so I think it's a practical matter. The public blockchains like Bitcoin and to a great extent Ethereum stuff, Europe or any other particular region, political region of the world doesn't really have control or even a strong influence over that. So as a practical matter, no, I don't think they're going to be able to regulate or kill that. Now if you're doing a private blockchain that's controlled from Europe, yeah, that will have to comply with Europe.
Okay. So we have another question that we already briefly touched, but let's try. So what's your opinion on voting on policy versus voting for party representation via blockchain? Does anyone want to comment on voting on policy versus voting for party representation?
Complex question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe someone make it simpler.
Yeah.
It's about democracy.
Complex.
So we will ask the anonymous person to reframe the question in a more simple way. So maybe another one. How would you explain to blockchain skeptic the main benefits of using blockchain in public sector? How would you persuade the person that it is inevitable to do that?
I think we have shown too many examples today on why and how we can achieve that. And it's pretty straightforward that we can have a level of applications, real applications, and help the efficiency and transparency of a government. Bearing that in mind and keeping that in the back of our head, we always need to compare and see if the blockchain application can really give value to the government or to any business. Because many times using a blockchain system generally causes much more problems than solving problems. And that's not the whole idea of the usability of a blockchain system. So initially you have to decide if blockchain makes sense to be used or not. Yeah?
Yeah, I wouldn't focus on the distribution of control or authority. I would focus on efficiency and more integrity in operations related to government services.
For government, I speak of delegate of government who states, and I tell them that we have to learn from the history of the Roman Empire, because they have a coin of gold at the beginning of the empire, but then they go to France, they go to England, they go to Palestine and Mesopotamia, they put inside the gold, they put iron and the stone and many things that only 1% is gold. I think that's what's been going to happen in 10 years, that since the time that the United States stopped backing the dollar with gold in the 1973 till 2008 is a big financial crisis, and the birth of the Bitcoin the same year. It cannot be accident. The same year, because United States and now most of the countries are putting more garbage inside their coins, exactly like the Roman Empire. So it will go up more and then it will explode. And the people will vote by their hands. They will buy more and more Bitcoin, and they will ignore the dollar, and the euro, and the yuan, and the yen, and this will happen exactly like what has happened to the Roman Empire. The fiat will implode. That's why I suggest to government, instead of fighting it, join it.
Okay, thank you.
I just to follow up on that, and also a reflection that I've had regarding internet and the way internet is controlled and regulated today. I mean, you see the same debate regarding the balkanization of internet and the force to regulate internet and the interests of different countries regarding this. I think blockchain technology, to some extent, well, actually, I'm still going both ways when it comes to this, because I'm not really sure whether blockchain technology will serve those that want to regulate the internet or not. So this is something that you're talking about, the downfall of the Roman Empire. I think it's an interesting analogy, and I think we will see something in the future that we don't know yet.
Well, so I don't know about. So in terms of cryptocurrency, for example, and financial smart contracts, Slovakia and some similar countries are in a position of being trusting, foreign politicians and foreign bankers with a great deal of their financial infrastructure. And that's a very hazardous position to be in. They may be very trustworthy and reliable today, your best friends today, but the political winds can shift, they can change. What are you going to do then? And so I would definitely explore more trust-minimized solutions for your finance.
Okay, so maybe kind of a follow-up question to the previous one. So when we talk about private blockchains, why not simply use a standard database with proper security measures instead of private blockchain?
Yeah, I can answer that, because that is still under one entity's control, even if you add a lot of security and encryption. Still one party that controls the data. It's not to bribe yourself into the IT department and change your tax rate. Don't do it. But if you have set up like a blockchain, it can be distributed, controlled by several parties. Much more difficult to hack yourself into that department of several entities. Or if it's protected by proof of work, it's basically quite difficult. You can think of 51% in consumer. But it's more difficult to wrap yourself into one idea.
Okay. Someone wants to respond to that? Okay then. So we have another question. Does blockchain really solve security problems? Isn't it more like that it shifts responsibility from central authority to the individual who is easily attacked?
Well, you have to attack a whole bunch of individuals, which is harder than attacking a central entity.
There is some truth to it. I mean, it is difficult and dangerous, the whole cryptocurrency, if you're not an expert. And you want to invest in ICU, whole Bitcoin is quite complex.
This has to do with the shift in risk and responsibility for risk management. And that's the essential question, actually. Why would you want, as an individual, to take on that responsibility?
Why is a centralized entity going to take on that responsibility when it creates a very fragile, hazardous situation where one failure becomes very catastrophic, or one political shift of the wind shuts out whole categories of people from the financial system. That's happening today with people we consider bad guys, but you know what? In 10 years, Slovakia may be considered bad guys for whatever reason. And what are you going to do then?
The reason I think it might be a problem is that governments do have control and do have full transparency of financial transactions in very many.
Right, but not the Slovakian government, though.
Exactly. So that
Governments, they're not people you guys elected. They don't speak your language. I'm not sure why you're trusting them. And that's your business, not mine. My impression.
but in my opinion, this is a key issue. Do you trust full transparency regarding transactions or not? And the government in many countries, also in the US and in Norway, they have full transparency. They are fully informed about any financial transaction.
They have transparency. You, the user of the financial system, have full transparency. You, who's trusting and relying on these distant people you don't know of, they don't speak your language in the United States. They don't know you're from Jack. You're trusting them. Do you have transparency on what they're doing? Blockchain provides everybody transparency of what's going on.
Yeah, that's one issue. The question for me is who has then the responsibility for mitigating the risks, and who is, if you are the victim of fraud as a private individual, who is then responsible? Who do you face?
Well, if you're an individual Slovakian who's lost out, $50,000 from a bank in the U.S., freezing your account, good luck going over to the United States and suing for that money back. You're going to have to spend a lot more than $50,000 spending to get that money back. So it's only a few small elite in Slovakia that can actually, corporations, can actually even afford to have a correspondence relation in the first place with a U.S. bank. And so it ends up being this very fragile system that shuts out most people from. And the public global blockchain just expands its access worldwide to many, many more people.
Okay, thank you. Another question is Bitcoin related. So do you think Bitcoin will remain most used and most valuable cryptocurrency in the future? If yes, why? If not, why? Who wants to start?
Well, I think there's very good probability that they do have, I think, the best culture of trust minimization in their language, immutability and censorship resistance. And although they seem hardcore to, I guess, most of the other people in this business, they're in fact the most successful, and I think that's why they're most successful, is they stick to a very simple governance model, where we're not going to reverse transactions or change things out, except for the most, extreme attacks against the core of Bitcoin itself. So if somebody messes up a smart contract, or if some end user is defrauded or something, it's not the role of the blockchain to reverse that for you. So they keep it very simple in terms of the decisions they make. They do what they call reduce the argument surface. And that keeps the governance very simple and the thing very trust minimized and automated, and therefore globally seamless and low cost. Yeah.
Used? No, I don't think so. If you compare to the number of transactions as a blockchain, it would probably be like a gaming platform or something. Valuable, probably. That's my guess now.
Okay, fair enough. Dennis?
I think for the same reasons like what Nick said, Bitcoin, it looks like it's very resilient because it keeps the fundamental basics very simple. The core ideas are very simple. So, like what we have in other blockchains with the reversing the transactions, that's something which is not happening on Bitcoin blockchain, for example. And due to all those reasons, moving and keeping safe the simplicity and the fundamentals on how to be, and we have the global seamless transactional activity between two individuals or two participants. I still believe that as a cryptocurrency, yes, it's going to be most valuable at least for the next years.
Sure.
It depends if Bitcoin it will adapt itself. For example, if Ethereum make ICO, I heard that now it's possible to make ICO also in Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin will adapt itself It will be the dominant, it will be the central bus station of the global, central bus station of the world. You can go through Bitcoin to Ethereum, through Bitcoin to EOS or other things, but if Bitcoin will adapt itself and all the time renew itself, it will be dominant at least for 10 years.
Thank you. Want to comment on this?
No, I think the one that is most widely used will be the one that is most widely used.
Okay, I think that was a very nice conclusion of our panel. We ran out of time, so I would like to thank to all our panelists for a great discussion.
Introducing the Open Source University, a unique global platform built on the Ethereum blockchain to bridge the gaps in an educational market worth trillions of dollars. Universities and online platforms generate thousands of new courses every day. Graduates often struggle orienting and verifying the right opportunities, while companies spend huge amounts of time and money on recruiting and corporate learning and development. How to organize and optimize all of these challenges? Welcome to OS University, the future of learning and career development. The platform connects three key players: academia, universities and other learning content providers, businesses looking for new hirings or raising current employees' qualification, and learners, the people seeking continuous education and career development. Blockchain is used to securely store certificates, diplomas, skills, and other achievements. B2L smart contracts handle the recruitment processes, such as candidate sourcing, hiring interviews, and bonuses. L2A smart contracts handle collective research programs, contributions, and rewards distribution. B2A smart contracts empower the learning and development marketplace, where businesses can pay for custom training courses or group existing courses into programs for internal education and internships. Metadata about educational content is aggregated through smart contracts into the OS University distributed platform. All payments inside the platform are made through cryptocurrencies, yet there is a unique one, the Edu token. Everyone who uses it will benefit from 0% platform fees, while transactions with other cryptocurrencies will be charged with commissions for using the platform. Part of that commission is converted to Edu tokens and burned immediately. As a result, the value of the Edu token grows. The more transactions go through the system, the higher the token price. Edu tokens are limited to 48 million and are sold through a crowd sale campaign. The funds that are raised will accelerate the platform's development. Join the crowd sale and be part of the world's biggest educational marketplace, where education and career development have no boundaries.